Happy New Year's, killers! What's up, killers? It is your final girl, Mel. This is my killer podcast, and welcome. Welcome to the end of the year. I am excited about it. I know you guys are excited about it. Next year holds promise, I think. Maybe. I don't know. So today I have a very, very special video for you, and I'm not gonna lie, I sweated about this one. I sweated about it a lot. I am still nervous to do it. I've been pushing off doing this video for so long, and I don't even know why I'm so nervous about it. It's not like I'm doing a live stream or anything. Today, we are going to do the 2021 Killer Movie Awards! Ah! Ah! Yay! I about lost my hat there. All right, all excitement aside, like I said, I'm super excited about this. I just want to throw a little warning out there to you guys. These are all my opinions. These are all the things that I was excited about this year. There's no merit behind why I picked any of these things other than they were my favorite things of the year. These are the things that won the year for me. But what I do want you to do is hit me in the comments below and let me know in each category what films won your year, because I am interested. I know there are things that I missed out there, and I know there are things that maybe I like that you didn't, and I know there are definitely going to be things that I didn't like that maybe you did, and I would like to know all of that because you are my killers, and we are a community and a family here, and we should know these things about each other. If you are new here, this is my first Killer Movie Awards show. If tradition holds up, I will have another one next year, but I am not a fortune teller, so we will have to wait and see what happens. Or am I? Also, if you're new here, go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and kill that bell for your girl if you appreciate any of this content. I also have a Patreon page if you guys want to yog over there and see what's crapping in it. That's cool too. Unfortunately, I thought I had this really badass creative idea to do a physical media / movie awards ceremony at the end of the year. I thought this was going to be the cat's pajamas, the business of all things, but turns out a lot of people do these. A lot of people do well, maybe not necessarily the Killer Movie Awards, but they do a movie awards or top 10s videos at the end of the year. I was unaware of this, and I apologize. I thought this was going to be a new creative, awesome idea for you guys, and it wasn't, but it's still all my own personal thoughts and ideas went into the lists that you're about to hear. So I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you appreciate it. But without any further ado, let's get on with the show. Get on with the show. We are going to start off with the Killer Awards. These are the films and the physical media releases that killed it this year. And yes, I am not doing all new movies. I am doing physical media releases. It doesn't matter if it's a new or old film. If it was released this year, it is in this category. It will fall in all the categories. However, at the end of the show, so you have to watch until the end, I will be doing the best and worst movie of the year. These are going to be your new films that just dropped this year in the theaters. Some of them are already out on physical release. Those will be at the end of the show. Starting off, I'm so nervous. The Steelbook that killed it this year. Now remember, I know everyone is going to have a differing opinion about this than moi, but this is also a controversial pick, and here is why. Steelbook of the year is the Terminator 2 Lionsgate release. This is one of the squishiest steelbooks to date. The artwork just killed it. There was also groovy disc artwork and groovy inner artwork. This steelbook absolutely nailed it. It had a clear slipcover that also had Arnold Schwarzenegger's face on it to cover that robot. This is my pick for Steelbook of the year. I did have an honorable mention, and I feel like I need to mention this one because this Steelbook, all the way up until the point that T2 came out, had this spot. And that is the American Psycho Lionsgate Steelbook. This one also had a plastic slipcover where his face well, I should do it this way. His face peels off to reveal Christian Bale with blood spatter. The back has him with the axe and the American flag on it. What absolutely sold me on this Steelbook was the inside, because they have this little detail here of his business card. It's bone. And it had some awesome disc artwork as well. I don't need to sell you guys on this Steelbook. You know it was rockin' awesome. I know it was rockin' awesome. And had it not been for T2, this would have held that top slot. I hope I'm not going too fast. I know that was just number one, but there are a lot of categories here and I have a lot of honorable mentions. So on with the show. You're going to hear that a lot. It's going to be like the Evil Dies Tonight chant. On with the show. Okay, I won't do that to you guys. Anyway, next category, killer slipcover. And the killer slipcover goes to, I'm sorry, I have these physical medias all over this table. Vinegar Syndrome's Ticks. I know this is a hardcover right here. However, artwork is rockin' awesome. The back artwork was rockin' awesome, but it also came with a slipcover on the Blu-ray with awesome artwork as well. And then there's your 4K. I don't think I need to tell you guys why this is winning the slipcover of the year, but there you have it. Vinegar Syndrome's Ticks. All right, next up is box set of the year. Killer box set of the year. This is the one category that I know you guys are not going to agree with me on, because I did not get the Middle-earth collection. I did not get the Columbia Classics collection. I'm not going to lie, there was only like 1 or 2 movies in that Columbia Classics collection that I even wanted. So that one wasn't going to do it for me. But you want to know what did do it for me? Do you want to know what box set collection that I got so excited about that I had to pre-order it the day I saw that this was coming? I scoured the internet to find the first place that had it available, and I pre-ordered it. And that was the Evil Dead Groovy collection. I know this isn't going to be much of a surprise to any of you guys, but I've never been more excited about a box set. I know it's missing Army of Darkness, but there is just licensing issues there. There's nothing they can do. But I did not have the Ash vs. the Evil Dead series. And I just love me some Evil Dead, and I love me some Bruce Campbell. And this box is pretty rockin' awesome. I do have an honorable mention in this category because I feel like this deserves an honorable mention, and that is the Universal Monsters collection. I have watched a couple of these now, and their transfers are pretty rockin' awesome. This collection was just groovy. The packaging was very cool. They have all these old posters and some information in there. So, I mean, this is probably the one and only media book I actually really appreciated, because I normally don't like media books. But honorable mention for that. Next category is the Killer Limited Edition. So, what killed it for me this year was when Arrow told me Legend was coming out in this squishy release. I have never seen anything more beautiful. If you want to see all of the contents of this, hit my Instagram. I have a photo that showcases everything that you get in this. I believe I also did an unboxing video. I will link that down below if you want to check that out. But this is one of the best editions I have ever seen. And this is one of my all-time favorite movies. I watched this all the time when I was a kid. It is just amazing. So, Killer Limited Edition for 2021. Right, yeah. The next category is the Killer 4K Release of the Year. So, I do have one in mind, and that is The Thing. This 4K release blew me away. This is an amazing film. It really brought back some good memories for me, and you can't ask for much better than this right here. I do have an honorable mention for 4K releases, and that is Arrow's Trimmers. This release was pretty rockin' awesome, and the transfer is wonderful. Moving on, the next category is distribution label that killed it this year, and that is Kino Lorber. Kino Lorber won the year this year. They had so many releases that were awesome. I have not purchased more things from another distribution label than I did Kino Lorber this year, and I am super excited to see what they do next year with their 4Ks because they dropped some bombs this year, and I am super excited about it. They did have a little faux pas with the hard target release, but it was never easier to submit a claim for that new replacement disc than it was from Kino Lorber. All right, last but not least in the Killer Movie Awards is the most underrated movie of the year. This is going to surprise a lot of you. Maybe some of you didn't even watch this film, and I do have an honorable mention. And that film is The Little Things. This is the most underrated movie of the year. People did not like this movie when it came out. They were saying that it was a ripoff of Seven. I started to do a podcast about this, and I got like 40 minutes into an argument about why this is not a ripoff from Seven. One, the script, screenplay, whatever for this film was written either the exact same time or maybe even before Seven. Unfortunately for this one, that script got shelved for many, 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 many years. Did Seven do it better? Yeah, but we can't compare because this movie is completely different. This is more of a... I always got to check. This is more of a character study than it is a crime scene horror thriller thing. So I highly recommend checking this out. If you did check it out and you didn't like it first go around, give it a second chance. Yes, there is some really weird humor in this, but it's meant to be there. And I don't believe Denzel Washington walked through his performance. I believe he performed that part exactly how he was meant to perform it. So give it a second chance, please. Honorable mention in this category is Psycho Goreman. I know there was a lot of people that liked this film when it came out, but there was a lot of people that didn't like it when it came out. They didn't like the character of Mimi. They thought it was too cheesy. They thought it was too like dumb funny. But that's exactly what this was meant to be. This was meant to be your typical 80s, early 90s B cheese. And if you didn't know that going into it, you probably weren't going to like it. But this was an awesome good time, and I was so excited to see something like this come back. So, honorable mention for most underrated movie of the year. All right, that is it for the Kill Awards. These are the movies that killed it, the physical media releases that killed it this year. Hit me in the comments below. Let me know what you thought about my list. Let me know what your list is. And now we are going to move on to the next category. All right, so the next category is going to be the Victim Awards. These are the movies and physical releases that didn't make it this year. They didn't make it for my year. They will never make it again. No, I'm just kidding. These are the movies that just flopped. They died. They weren't great. And I'll explain each one of them as we go. So, in the first category, we have the worst Steelbook. And I'm going to start with the honorable mention for this one, and that is Shawshank Redemption. I obviously did not pick this Steelbook up. The artwork on this was horrendous. I don't know what they were thinking. The purple, I don't know. I don't know. It's a great and wonderful movie. I hear the transfer is pretty awesome. So I'm not saying don't pick up this movie. I'm just saying the Steelbook artwork was gross. So that was my honorable mention. And I started with that because the Steelbook that actually won the award for worst Steelbook of the year is going to Prisoners of the Ghostland. I'm not speaking about the movie at all. I did do a Letterboxd review on this movie. Go check it out. My link for that is below. I am merely speaking about the Steelbook itself. The artwork is actually pretty cool on this Steelbook too. So it's a damn shame what they did to this Steelbook. Did you see that? Did you see that? My 4K disc fell the fuck out of this Steelbook. And here's why. They stacked the discs. So this disc goes in here. It probably is supposed to click in. I don't fucking know. But they stacked the discs. Look, the disc artwork is groovy. The background artwork is amazing. This Steelbook could have been top 10 Steelbooks of the year, but no, they decided to stack that disc. So what happens when you stack discs like that? The disc falls off and it slides around on the inside. So when I went to Best Buy to pick this up, every single one of these at my Best Buy had a loose disc in it. Why did I pick it up? Well, because I wanted it and I wasn't going to get it without a loose disc. So I had to pick it up anyway. Luckily, I watched it and my disc is fine. However, I have heard many people state that their Best Buys were the exact same way. Every single one of these had a loose disc in it at their Best Buys. So if I had to pick between this groovy Steelbook with amazing artwork and a shit situation on the inside where the disc is falling off, opposed to this Steelbook that just had crappy artwork, I'm going to go worst Steelbook all day long on this one because I can deal with bad artwork. I can't deal with a scratched disc. Boo. All right, rant over. So unfortunately, I like a lot of the slip artwork that I saw this year. So for worst slipcover, I'm sorry, I'm giving it to Shawshank again. This artwork is 100% better than the Steelbook artwork, but it's still kind of bleh. It's just them sitting there. I feel like there are many other opportunities within this film to pull artwork that could have gone on the cover of this and didn't. I don't know. The colors were blah. The photo was blah. It was just blah. I wish they would have done Shawshank a little better. Boo! Moving on to the next category is worst box set. And I don't think anybody is going to be surprised about the one that I picked for this category. And it is the Indiana Jones Steelbook box set. I hate it that this is even in here because I was so excited when they announced this release. And I was even more excited to know that it was going to come with a bunch of Steelbooks. But this box sucks. Like, mine is permanently popped up like this. When you take these Steelbooks out, it's nothing but these weird cardboard things in between that move. The Steelbooks themselves, the artwork isn't great. So, I don't know. That's all I have to say about this. It's all about the packaging, and the packaging failed Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones deserved better. Deserved better. In the next category is the worst limited edition release. And I don't know if you can technically call this a limited edition, but I'm going to give it to Citizen Kane. Once again, I didn't buy this because Criterion released it with a bum disc. So that's strike number one for the Citizen Kane release. Strike number two is the packaging itself does this weird unfold thing. You got to unfold it like upwards of 4 times, which will get annoying if you really liked that movie and want to watch it a shit ton of times. But also, the last strike on the list for me is how Criterion handled the replacement disc situation for this edition. They could not have made it any more annoying to get a replacement disc for their fuck up. They had everyone that purchased this release, which we're on top of the disc malfunction almost right away. They should have pulled all these from the shelves and not let anybody buy them. But what did they do? They let people buy them. And then they required people to break their discs on video or on camera or whatever and send them in before they would send a replacement disc or even get them on the list for a replacement disc. And to me, that is fucked up. Pardon my language, but it seriously annoyed me when I heard that. And I didn't even buy the Citizen Kane release. Boggles my mind that a company like Criterion that is supposed to be an elitist label, they put out all of this elite shit, and they require all of this for their mess up in the beginning, where Kino Lorber is over here, has a bum disc for Hard Target, and literally all I had to do was fill out a form and then state where I purchased my copy from and send it in, and I got an email that stated I was on the list for a replacement disc. I didn't even have to show proof that I bought it. So, winning Kino Lorber, losing Criterion Citizen Kane release. Moving on. Worst 4K release of 2021. And this will be no surprise to anybody either, but it's a double dipper. T2. So this also wins the worst 4K release of the year because why? Why did they even put this out? It's the exact same transfer. I too got caught up in the hype that maybe this was a different transfer, and it's not. Apparently it's not. It's the same crappy, shitty transfer that they put out previously that everyone on social media is talking about how bad it is. They know people don't like this transfer and they released this anyway. Why? Just to see if people would buy it? Well, we did. We bought it. The most worthless release of the year. Probably. However, I did not own T2, so I scooped this up real quick. One, because the Steelbook was awesome, and two, because I did not own that terrible transfer, and I kind of want it because it's kind of legendary now, and at some point we are probably gonna get a new transfer that's better, and I want to own a copy of the world's worst transfer on the world's best movie. That's how ridiculous I am. All right, moving on to the year's worst label, and I'm not gonna say that this is 2021's worst label. I'm going to say this is the label that had the biggest flop. Shout Factory. I hate to say it because I love Shout Factory to death. I love Shout Factory to death. I'm not saying don't buy their movies. Continue to buy their movies because they do great stuff. They do awesome, excellent, amazing things. But they had the most flops this year with bad discs, bad transfers. The Halloween 4K situation was just complete madness. And that's why they get it, and that's all I'm going to say. All right, final category for the Victim Awards of 2021, and that is Most Overrated Movie of the Year. I hope you guys aren't mad at me for this one, but it goes to Candyman. I'm sorry, clearly I didn't pick this one up, but this movie is getting so many... Well, I guess this movie actually got equally as many bad reviews as it got good reviews. This movie just did not kill it for me. I was so disappointed when I went to the theater to see it, and then to hear everybody just praise it afterwards just kind of made me a little... All right, so that concludes our Kill Awards and our Victim Awards for 2021. I'm going to move on to some distribution label honorable mentions, and then after that, we are going to get into our movie of the year and worst movie of the year. Stay tuned. All right, guys, moving on to the honorable mentions for the distribution labels of 2021. We are going to start off with Vinegar Syndrome, and an honorable mention for them is their Scanner Cop release. Scanner Cop 1 and Scanner Cop 2. It came in this groovy hard box. You open it up. Each one of the movies came with their own individual slip covers. This release was just bonkers awesome. I love the artwork. I love the movies. I was super stoked to have this one, and I picked this up right away. Next up is Scream Factory, and even though these movies had one of the biggest flops of the year, I am going to call them out as an honorable mention for these releases. Yes, I realize they are not in any kind of order. Sorry about that if that bugs anybody. But these releases all came in these hard boxes. I personally liked the artwork on these, and these releases were just rockin' awesome. And I hope that they do the rest of the series just like this in 4K, because these were pretty dope. I appreciated these a lot. Next honorable mention is Kino Lorber's edition of Misery. This release was rockin' awesome. I did not get my hands on it, and I am really disappointed in that because I hear that the slipcover is gone, and that breaks my heart, truly. I just didn't want to pick it up right away because I already own the Scream Factory edition of Misery. And I was waiting and waiting, and now I think I lost my chance. But Kino Lorber's release of Misery in 4K was top notch. Next up, I want to honor Arrow and their release of True Romance. This edition of True Romance was so awesome. I believe I did an unboxing video of this one on my channel, so I will link that below. I also have an image on my Instagram if you want to pop over there and see all of the contents that came within this packaging. I also watched this movie and it was so great, just as I remembered from way, way back. Love this movie, love this edition, love this artwork. Thank you, Arrow, for this one. Next up, we are going to talk about Blue Underground and their release of Maniac Cop 2. And I just can't get through a video, can I? Maniac Cop 2 and Maniac Cop 3 in 4K. These releases are rockin' awesome. These transfers are wonderful. Blue Underground is killing it on their transfers this year. And I just want... Oh my God, did I fuck that up again? Anyway, I did. I think I fucked that up. Whatever. I just wanted to spotlight these because they are awesome. Thank you, Blue Underground. Next up, I'm going to spotlight MVD and their release of Jack Frost and Jack Frost 2. These slipcovers are killer. I cannot praise these slipcovers enough. MVD does an awesome job in their Rewind collection with their awesome slipcovers. Moving on, we are going to talk about Second Sight's edition of Lake Mungo. I was super excited to get this. I ordered it right away. I waited several months for it because I pre-ordered it so early. And when I got it, I watched it right away and I fucking loved it. This movie was scary. It was also sad. It was also very atmospheric, and this edition came with all the goods. I think I did an unboxing video of this. I also have an image on my Instagram of all the goods on the inside, so check those out. Check out this edition. If you have not seen Lake Mungo, there's no better way to see it than Second Sight Films. I also want to showcase Raven Banner's edition of Psycho Goreman. I am wearing my Hunky Boys shirt, if you guys couldn't tell. I love my Hunky Boys, and Raven Banner did Psycho Goreman right. Look at this slipcover. It is awesome. They still have it on their website. Go over there and fucking buy it up because it is the most underrated movie of the year. Honorable mention, Styly. Last but not least, 88 Films put out a trilogy of the Urban Legend box set. I got the slipcover version, so I'm just going to show you this here. Still pretty cool. But they also released a box set. I'll try and find an image and put it somewhere for you guys, but that was pretty awesome. I missed out on that. It was sold out before I could get my hands on it. That was a very groovy box set that 88 Films put out. And that's it for my honorable mentions. Now for the moment you all have been waiting for. My number one killer movie of the year and worst movie of the year. What is it? Hit me in the comments below and let me know what you guys think are my number one and number 0 movies of the year. Without any further ado, we're going to start with 2021's worst movie of the year. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I had to. This movie was just bad. It was bad. It was bad. I did a movie review for this on my channel. I will link that below. Go check out that video if you want to know my reasons why this film made it to my worst movie of the year. But for the moment you've all been waiting for... I want to do a drum roll on the table, but the audio will not allow me to do that. But movie of the year, Malignant. I have never been more surprised about a movie in my life. I heard all the hype about this movie. I heard all the hype. It was getting overhyped, and I was getting worried. I was getting worried that this movie was being overhyped, and I was going to watch it and be severely disappointed. But guess what? I wasn't. I wasn't disappointed. I heard all the hype and I watched it and I loved it anyway. This movie is crazy. It's creative. It's different. Thank you, James Wan, for putting this out. It's everything that I needed. I needed a different kind of horror movie this year. I'm tired of the remakes and I'm tired of the crap you see over and over and over and over again. This was a breath of fresh air. Check out this movie if you haven't seen it yet. It is movie of the year for me. I do have 2 honorable mentions, though, for movie of the year, and that is The Night House is my first honorable mention. This film was great. I did a Letterboxd review of this film. Go and check it out. I'm pretty sure I did a Letterboxd review for all of my movie of the years, so go check them out. But The Night House deserves a mention. And my last honorable mention is Jacob's Wife. This movie also surprised the hell out of me. I went into this movie thinking it was going to be your usual cheesy B like I love, but it ended up being so much more than that, and I still loved it, and it was great. Check this one out. Last honorable mention. That is it. We did it. Longest video ever. I'm so sorry. Hit me in the comments below and let me know if you liked the format of this video or if you think I could change a few things. Let me know that too, because I'm going to do this again next year. Hopefully, the Killer Movie Awards will live on until forever. But if this video was too long or you know of a way that I could have done this better, let me know. All right, guys, that's it. This is the last video of the year. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Have a happy new year. Please be safe, but also have fun, party it up, get those resolutions written down. Let me know if you have any resolutions for physical media. I have a couple, maybe not buy so many movies that I am not interested in. That could be one. If you liked this video and you want to further help support the channel, go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, kill that bell for your girl, share me with your friends. If you want to further help support my channel and go that extra mile, hit me up in my Patreon. We have some fun over there. But until next year, my fellow killers, I will miss you. I'm just kidding. I'm going to see you next week. Have a killer new year. Peace.